I like them chunky. Get your mind out the gutter. I'm talking about my junk journals as well as my junk journal charms. I keep the junk journals I'm working on behind me. You see them on the shelf here. Let me show you an example of what I mean. I'm going to show you my December junk journal. Here she is. Ooh, look how big she is. And then this was the charm that I made for this journal. Then here's my January junk journal. Not as chunky, but still pretty big. And look, this plastic is here because I'm not quite finished. I have one more day to scrap to junk journal. And so that's what this is, my ephemera for the day. But pretty nice size, again, with a nice chunky junk journal charm. But this month in July, I am trying a different approach. I recently made a video where I shared that I am switching to using a much smaller journal. This is a Stalogy A5 for my junk journaling this month. And the reason I decided to do this is because I keep a daily log of everything I do, and I wanted to try, and I keep that log separate from the junk journal, but I refer to it every single time I sit down the junk journal. So in this month, I wanted to see how it feels if I junk journal in the same place where I log my daily activities. And I wanted to see if I could get multiple months into one journal. So here I am experimenting with this one, and I do still have a theme. You see, because all of my journals have different themes, I did keep the idea of having a theme for the month. So my theme for this month is Snow White and the Seven Dwarfs, and I did a video explaining why I chose that as a theme. So I am experimenting with going to a smaller, less chunky journal. The challenge will be to see if I can minimize how much this one chunks up. But I also am experimenting with a much smaller junk journal charm. So I want to show you the charm that I made to use this month while I'm working in this journal. All right, I've changed my view so that you can see my journal. And let me first show you the very first layout in this month of July. And for that, we'll go to my July 1 layout. Now, everything behind the pink sticky notes is private information, so I'm not going to be sharing that, although I will do a video to show you my general approach to my journaling style. But right now, I wanted to show you this image. I explained in my other video that this is an image that's the cover of a 1975 book from Poland. It's a Polish author and a Polish illustrator of the original Grimm's Brothers tale of Snow White, and this is actually a book written in Russian. So this was the inspiration for my theme of using Snow White, part of the inspiration for that theme. So when it comes to my junk journal charm, I have leveraged that as well. And I'd like to show you my charm in case it helps give you any ideas. First and foremost, I had decided to use a lanyard. So actually, this is like a name badge holder. I picked this up for $1 at a local thrift store, and I got these in different colors. So the colors can match whatever color theme goes with the topic that is my theme for the month of my junk journal. And so here in the badge holder location, I did capture a 1922 illustration from another book that is a retelling of the Snow White story. So let me get closer for you so you can see Snow White is laying there and the dwarves are around her. Now this is the original Grimm's Brothers. There's no names for the dwarves. It was Disney that named them. So this is the original story. And then with this, I have keychains. I've shared in previous videos, I love using keychains for junk journal charms. So let me tell you about my keychains. The first one says, I love New York. And the reason I chose this is because this using Snow White as my theme is in part because my mother likes things that come in sevens. And so, but she is from New York and this is her birth month. July is her birth month. So I chose the New York. I saw this at a thrift store and I decided I would use that for my junk journal charm. Also, look at this. How perfect is this? This is a charm of 3 apples with the New York City skyline in each of them, right? Because New York's nickname is the Big Apple, and apples go perfectly with the theme of Snow White and the Disney version, right? Snow White and the Seven Dwarfs. So I have added these on here. You know what? This is all I'm going to use for now. This junk journal charm is not going to be anywhere near as chunky as they have before, so I'll experiment with how I feel about that. So I've put this image in the front of the holder, and in the back, look at this little one. This is me on my first birthday, because not only is July my mother's birth month, it is also mine. My birthday is July 9th, and so since that occurs during the time frame of this journal, that is how I have set up this junk journal charm. So as I use it, I will place it in the book and then have the charm mark my location as I am working on my spreads. Now, it's probably going to bother me that it's not going to position or orient itself the way I want it all the time, but you know what? That's not the point, right? The point is that I have a fun little charm that reminds me, it makes me think of my mother, and so I'll smile when I see it because she is a ball of energy. And I also get to use it in my junk journal. Well, yeah, my junk journal. Now, when I get to the next month of junk journaling, I will change this if I'm still in this journal. If I decide I'm going to go back to my full composition notebook instead of a smaller version, I'll make a new charm. But for now, I think this works and I am delighted to share it with you. Let me know what you think.